It's Opie and Anthony. Busy morning. Geraldo Rivera was great. We could have done at least another hour with him. We got to get him back on the show sooner than later.
He was defending points I wasn't making.
I didn't think Jimmy would be such a instigator.
But I was just thinking...
Oh, shut up. You were just being nasty to our guest.
I was telling Jimmy before Geraldo came in, I'm like, you're a little quiet today. He goes, I'm just enjoying you and Ant going back and forth, and then boom, he becomes the star of the show today.
Chimes in.
Him and Geraldo
like
going
a
at it.
maniac. I thought he was going to bust a chair across your nose.
It was very interesting radio, absolutely. Jimmy, who do we got in? We got.
I'm very psyched. We have Isiah Whitlock from the Wire, of course. You prefer the junior, or should I leave it off?
You can put it on.
Okay, Isiah Whitlock Jr.
Thank you.
I'm going to attempt Gbenga. How do you say the last name?
Akinnagbe.
How do you say it?
Akinnagbe.
I actually just tried to do an impression of him saying his own name, and I screwed it up.
Yeah.
Who play Clay Davis and Chris the Assassin from The Wire. And man, I am really a tremendous fan of this show.
Yeah, can I say something really fast? Because you got two different fans here. Jimmy's up to date, and he's going to be watching the series finale on Sunday on HBO. I'm on season 2.
Wow.
Now I know you. I don't know you, and I met him, and I have a feeling I know exactly what role he's going to play.
Yeah,
I have no doubt about it that you're a badass mother effer. I don't know what season, but I have no doubt in my mind.
Season 3 is when I start.
Yeah, Jimmy says you're just huge, and I can't wait to get to your part.
What he just did right now, I've never seen. It's a smile.
Yeah, okay.
I've never seen you smile before.
That's funny.
When Tristan was in yesterday, we were talking. One of my favorite scenes in the entire series is when you beat down his stepfather. He's one who was beating the stepfather to death physically.
Right.
This kid's stepfather. And you're beating him, and it's a savage beating. And as you're beating him, you watch this and you realize this happened to him, to you. Like this abuse, this assassin.
Right. There's some kind of sexual abuse thing, storyline.
It never gets said.
Yeah.
It never gets said. It's done in a look and then in the
Because the
beating.
writing
the
on that
passion
show
in the
is so
beating.
subtle. Exactly. I mean, it's unlike any other killing that Chris does before. You know, he's very cold, methodical, and here he just snaps. And it's just the writing's so good, they don't spoon feed it to you. It's like very subtle, and they don't mention it again. Either you get it or you don't, and they move on.
Yeah, they really do. Just they skate right by it. And of course, the only person I think who's probably like a swarthier on the show than you has to be the senator.
Yeah.
Which
I felt sort of slighted when he said, you know, I can look at you and see you're a badass, and I thought, well, okay, all right. Like, you know.
You're a smooth ass.
Yeah, right.
Very smooth. Very good.
Still an ass.
Yeah. Shady smooth ass.
we had I don't know. I wish we had more time because we had Jamie was supposed to be in today, and he wound up doing another interview. But I had clips of him, and we had a great clip of you just talking to the mayor, describing how you will accept money.
Hey, I got that. Why don't we play? I think we have time.
You mind if we hear that?
This is Senator.
It shows you exactly who Clay Davis is in the show.
Yeah, Senator Davis, of course, played by Isiah Whitlock Jr. Here you go.
Money laundering? They gonna come talk to me about money laundering in West Baltimore? Where do y'all think I'm gonna raise cash for the whole damn ticket? From laundromats and from some tiny-ass Korean groceries? You think I have time to ask a man why he giving me money or where he gets his money from? I'll take any money if he giving it away.
I don't want to know.
I know you don't want to know, but I'm scratching and clawing to get it done for you, Clarence. For you and me and the rest of the team. And who comes through my door but a Baltimore City police looking to get up into my about it?
Man, we didn't know about that.
I'm sorry, I got to leave up out of here before I lose my damn mind.
Nobody know about that.
You want to run a campaign with my money pillowed under your ass? You need your people to back the up, Clarence.
Wow. Oh, man.
You just are fantastic. This is drug dealer money he's talking about. Do you think I have time to ask where it comes from? There's bushels of cash being carried out of the projects with bodies piling up.
Yeah, it's got cocaine over every dollar bill.
Just a casual conversation with the mayor of Baltimore.
You're acting like it was a slightly misappropriated fund. He's the dirtiest son of a bitch in the entire show.
Yeah, and a badass. See, now I can say badass.
Right.
But it really is amazing how interesting they've made this politician. Like, they've taken every character on this show, and I know I obsess over the show because the fact that it's never won an Emmy, it's just embarrassing, and it's almost better that it's never won because it just shows you how awful the Emmys can be. I mean, Sopranos, good show, but I mean, there's no one on that show to me that with the complexity of what happens on the show.
Yeah,
at all.
absolutely.
I agree.
Now, are you allowed to say what happens in the final episode?
I can't. I can't,
of course.
You know, I mean, it would just. I mean, sometimes when I talk to people, you know, and I start talking about certain things, and I'll say, "Oh, you know, I had to go and get this guy to be like my lawyer," and they say, "Oh, so." Why'd you need a lawyer? That means you got indicted. That means that this is going to happen. So I usually just try and say nothing.
Are we going to get a big wow at the end of the show, or a?
That's it?
You're not going to give us a Sopranos ending, are you? You're not going to be sitting there eating onion rings at the end of this damn thing, are you?
Well, you know, if it
that was good how you slipped that in there. You know, like,
I want you guys to go out in a bang.
I hope so.
Were you surprised Omar got killed? Did you guys? I mean, were you shocked when you saw the script? Like, wow, they're really not going to allow this final gun battle to happen.
I was surprised. Like, the actor in me, because from the beginning of me being on the show, everyone's like, it's going to be you and Omar eventually. And I just saw that coming. But the writer in me is like, this is fascinating how they did this, you know. It was fascinating.
It's amazing what Marlo, who is his boss, who's the boss of Chris on the show, what a sociopath. Like, you didn't think it could get any worse than Barksdale or any of those guys or Weebay, I think his name was on the first season. Yeah. And man, you bastards roll the law, and they're just the worst people alive. I mean, they shoot you without a facial expression.
I thought the way they took out Prop Joe was one of the coldest.
Oh,
it was,
damn.
You know, to tell a guy.
Hey, he's on the second season. He's on the second season.
Oh, wait a minute.
I love that it's getting room for him.
I totally forgot.
No, but they just took him out. He had a cup of coffee. You know, they took him out. Look, that's all I was gonna say. You know,
of course. They had to beat him.
Why bother?
Tristan sat down yesterday off mic. The first thing he said is, "And when they kill Stringer Bell," and he's like,
I'm on season 2.
But
Stringer Bell's still alive and well, brother.
And running things.
That was the clip I had them pull, actually. To me, that was, I mean, the scene that you guys did in the jail cell where he say, "My name is my name," was a very intense scene. But that scene with Prop Joe, which was like the only moment of compassion in any way, shape, or form he shows in the entire series, was "Close your eyes. It'll be over quick." That was like his idea of being gentlemanly and sweet.
Nice.
He respected Joe, other than the shady stuff that Joe was doing. He respected Joe's position. So he's like, this was him respecting that. And close your eyes, you know, because when you play this game, you got to know that, you know, any minute, anywhere, anyone can take you out. It's not a minute. It's not about this is unfair. This is part of playing the game. You know, you're complicit. So yeah, it was wild.
So obviously, Marlo, I know I saw in the coming attractions. I saw the coming attractions because I'm on demand. I was always watching the week early, and then they make me wait now for 2 weeks. They show that he's out of jail. So I mean, I'm hoping something kind of goes down with him. I mean, I know you can't say exactly what happens.
Marlo ends up running for mayor.
You know what? Look, Marion Barry won. That wouldn't actually.
Oh, that's true.
That wouldn't actually be too big of a stretch.
I'm working on an Obama Davis ticket. Obama Clay Davis ticket. You know.
I can't tell you how this show has roped me in, and every angle they cover, it's almost like your storyline as this dirty senator is as interesting to me as the drug storyline. The newspaper one I like, but I much prefer you guys because you have been watching since day one, and you know you. For the last
it's what with the
seasons.
politics and what's going on in the police department. A lot of it's the same stuff that's going on in the streets. Yeah. They just happen to have badges and positions and City Hall. I mean, same conversations, a lot of the same back dealing. It's crazy. We just were talking about it off the air. How he said some of the same things in dealing with the mayor, and that excerpt that. Some of the kids, when offered drug money, ended up saying, you know, just taking this money and moving it around, this and that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys, 5 seasons?
Yeah, this is the 5th season.
Yeah, 5th season ending. How do you feel about that? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'd like to keep working on it, but, you know.
I sort of feel like, you know, you reach that point where, you know, it's time to move on, you know. I mean, sure, you know, you love doing the show, you want to do the show, but when, you know, all things come to an end and when it's time to go, you got to go. I'm glad we're sort of going out what I feel is on top. Where people didn't like get tired of the show and say, went on like 2 seasons too long. But the big difference to me was that we didn't like get canceled. I mean, the show came to an end, so it wasn't like you walked in and it was like, oh my God, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
You had a whole season to say goodbye to everybody.
Don't say that too loudly. Does that happen to someone in this room?
Ooh.
On the same channel that you guys are on too.
Okay. All right.
Lucky Louie, but
I
one
watched
season
the
is
show.
almost, oh, thank you.
I watched it.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. I've seen you. Period. I thought it was a semicolon.
Yeah, Jimmy was hoping like a hand.
But you know what? I don't even watch comedians, but I stayed up and I watched like your special.
Oh wow, man! Thank you.
No problem.
It's funny. It was.
And still waiting for the end.
No, that's okay. Just the fact that this ruthless psychopath knows who I am. Which, anyway, we we're sorry to make you guys wait. It was just Geraldo was there. We were running a little bit late, but we have the Wire series finale, by far the best show on television. I mean, it's by far the Emmys are just a completely irrelevant award.
Completely agree with
Jimmy. Not being nominated. It's just revolting that that's not being nominated.
That's on them,
It just stinks.
It's on them.
They're 24. Is he going to save the day? Little drunk driving twerp. The Wire, best show on television. Series finale. The whole season is on demand. You can get it on demand. It's 9 o'clock on HBO. And just go get the box sets because it really will. You cannot stop watching the show once you start watching it. We thank you guys so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, that's great. And we're off and running. Very good news. The guys made the walk.
Yes.
The guys from The Wire made the walk, which we're very happy about because now we're done with that bullshit radio show. Now we can get into some shit. I was talking to Gbenga after the show, and I'm like, come on, he's a nice guy. I can tell. And I'm only 2 seasons into The Wire. I'm like, how could this guy be a badass? Look at him smiling.
You're making me laugh.
He probably likes going and seeing chick flicks. Yeah, right.
Yes. He bought 2 If by C, the director's cut.
That's what's gonna be fun for me though, because like I said, Jimmy told me about The Wire. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I finally got the box set, and I'm hooked. And to the point where my girl is really frustrated because I'm like, it's Wire time. Sorry, I'll be in this other room for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. I got to get at least 3 episodes in tonight because I'm trying to catch up fast. And I obviously know him because he's in the earlier, seasons, but I don't know you at all. So when he pops up on the screen and he's gonna be this badass, gonna be like, wow.
There's just something really, really detached and frightening about his character. It's like the new crop of guys that they bring up, whether it's him and it's Marlo and it's Snoop. It's really, really, they're murderous people. I mean, whereas with Barksdale, you feel like, well, he's got some kind of a code. He's a warrior, and these guys are just cold-blooded, ruthless murderers. Which, look, that's the reality. I've heard the suburban idiots. Pontificate like I ran.
Look
with
at you
on the street.
That's how it is on the street.
Well, like Jimmy knows.
I said it yesterday when they filmed these scenes on the streets of Baltimore and the projects and stuff. I'm like, there's no way these guys are actors. It's just way too real. And I even asked that yesterday if they're using some extras and stuff, and for the most part, no, right?
It's funny you say that. No, they do use extras and people from Baltimore, but oftentimes I'll get stopped in L.A. or New York, and people will say to me, "What are you doing here?" Like they expect me to be on a corner in Baltimore. I'm like, I'm an actor. And like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's wild. People don't realize that, but I think it's credit to the show.
Oh yeah.
It may also be why this show doesn't get nominated because they don't think they're actors on it. But,
well, no, I think that's right. Is they say, well, they're just like people, and they're not actors, and so
there's just people that got off the street.
Yeah,
and
they just got
some people on the show. Which is true.
They went out and got 40 people to do a show on HBO.
I am one of those guys. I told a story. I got to tell it in front of you guys too. The lawyer, Maury Levy, or is that his name on the show?
Yeah.
That's getting all you guys off in court and stuff. He's just a dirty lawyer. I told Jimmy, I'm so convinced that that's really how he is in real life, that if he came on our show, I would go right after him and maybe try to choke him out because I hate the guy.
Michael is such a cool guy.
And that's what everyone says. He's so nice.
He is. I mean, really nice. Like, He's big into theater. He has done the producers on the tour of the producers.
Yeah, he did the
yeah, hysterical.
And wait till you see this guy. He's like, oh God, you just hate him
I know,
instantly.
he's just
instantly.
a shady, shiesty dude.
Smooth too as he's doing it.
He's
you know?
a great lawyer and just the epitome of a scumbag.
Yeah.
Who knows his clients are filthy and guilty and he doesn't care.
One of the first
which is the guy you want.
Oh, yeah.
one of the first scenes I saw on The Wire. It's the white Jewish lawyer, and he's in court, and he's slapping one of these badass gangsters, drug dealer guys, going, "Shut up!"
Oh, he
and
goes
listen
and
to
gets
me.
D'Angelo out of the thing,
Yeah, he
slaps
just
him on the head.
slaps him
Shut
on the
up,
head.
stop talking.
and these guys are evil people on the streets of Baltimore.
But this guy, they all know that this is the guy that is like, he's the badass. He controls if they come or go.
Sure.
They got this, the D'Angelo was a drug dealer with a conscience, and there was a guy killed. So the cops said, why don't you write a letter to this guy's family? And, dumb D'Angelo's like, that'd be a great idea. So he's sitting at the police station writing a letter of apology, even though he didn't do it, quote unquote. And the lawyer walks in and says, stop writing. And he slaps the back of his, slaps his head. He slaps his fucking head.
That's great.
And he carries him out like a 5-year-old. He grabs him and he goes, we're going. And you know that he's a bad lawyer, though, when a drug dealer is slapped in the back of the head and goes, all right, I'm sorry.
I forgot that scene. That was a hot scene.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, we couldn't say this on the other side of the show, but it's coming in a lot that you say shit better than anyone on TV. Can you give us one?
Never in my wildest dreams. I mean, it was just one of those things, that you do, and next thing you know, it's like I'm walking down the street and everybody's, can you just do that for me? Can you do it? It's like, look, man, I gotta go, man. I'm late for an appointment. Just one time.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, of course, Senator Clay Davis from The Wire, played by Isiah Whitlock Jr.
It's when you do it, because I had an uncle who used to do that like 20 times a day. Yeah. It was comical. I mean, it was like you get up in the morning and say, hey, Uncle Leon, did you sleep well? Shit, man, my head hit that pillow. How'd you like dinner? Oh man, shit. Them pork chops were good, man. It's like, okay.
You know what I'm doing around my place? My fiance, it's driving her nuts, but she asked me a question. I go, faux show. Driving her nuts with my Omar impression. Faux show. She's like, you're just a white douche. You're a white douche. Why are you saying that?
And we're obsessed over the line in court when he's throwing Bird under the bus. And do you see the defendant in court? Yo, what up, Bird? I can't. I went on YouTube again and just watched it. His little nod to him. And Bird is the most frightening looking guy they got in the series. Unfortunately, he went away in the first season because there's never been a more awful looking fucking guy ready to shoot you than that guy.
Weebay was the scariest for me so far.
Yeah, he's not a pleasant guy.
Weebay's scary.
Oh yeah, he took a lot of bodies at the end just for some fucking for an extra sandwich.
Yeah.
At the end of season 1.
Oh, explain it to Anthony. Yeah.
He's just taking credit for all these because he knows he's going. So he's trying to wrap up a little drug dealer. He's just taking credit for all these hits, just to, I think, take the heat off of other people, just to take the credit
and to
for
help the
murders.
police department. You don't give a shit. But he was negotiating before he gave up more murders.
Yeah, he was like, well, what did he want? Like another pork sandwich?
He
goes, you give me. Yeah.
He didn't care at that point.
Yeah.
He wanted a sandwich and a soda to continue signing murder confessions. These guys are great. You can't not fucking like these dudes, man. It's like, and by the way, Isiah and they're both in plays too. So I want to Isaiah's in a play called Unconditioned. It's on Lafayette and Astor. It's called The Public is the name of the theater. And the guy that plays Rawls is also in the play.
Is also in the play, yeah. Yeah, it's very good. Very good.
What is it about?
It deals with a lot of racial issues, interracial marriage, loneliness, all the dark things about living in the city of New York.
Okay, great. Yeah. And Gbenga's in a play called Lower Ninth?
Yes.
And it's the Flea Theater on 41 White Street. Where's that?
That's right. Lower Manhattan, between Broadway and Church Street.
Who do you play in that?
I play Lowboy. You can check it out at theflea.org. It's about 24 hours after Katrina hit.
Oh, okay.
James McDaniels and Gaius Charles as well. The play's good. It's really good. Come check it out. It's like an hour and 10 minutes of great theater at the Flea Theater.
You guys don't do a whole lot of light stuff, do you? Pretty heavy shit. Katrina, the interracial marriage and loneliness.
How about a comedy? How about a comedy?
Exactly. How about a
Less romantic comedy or something.
How about a buddy flick?
How about a Sandra Bullock movie or something?
Hey, bring it up. You got some dirty work, call me, man.
Do a black-white cop flick,
Yeah, something fun.
Some sort of
We got to get
procedural.
along with each other.
That's another beauty of this show. There's just none of that shitty cop dialogue they have. You know, like this.
The procedurals.
Yeah, they're just drunks. They all beat suspects, and you know it's across the board. They're all just cops. There's none of that hacky cop shit you see.
Yeah.
With hacky cop dialogue. No, the cops are all believable.
On this show,
Yeah.
no one is all good or all bad.
Right.
Even the sociopathic killers and the cops, they're all trying to do the best they can in the world that they have. I mean, however fucked up it is. You know, McNulty is a great example of it. This dude, like, he breaks the law. He's destroying himself and other people around him in order to do something that he thinks is right. You know, has he crossed the line? Yeah. Is he right to do it? Maybe not. You know, it brings up all types of questions in you while you watch this show.
Now, you guys, are you based out of New York? Where are you guys based out of?
Yeah.
New York City.
Oh, you've all, okay.
Yeah.
And so is Andre, and I think Michael Williams is New York, right?
Yeah.
Fucking great. Bunch of hardcore theater New York actors, and they don't nominate it for Emmys. The fucking Emmys should just have Ryerson sprinkled on the tables. What a bunch of assholes. Unless, of course, I've ever nominated for one. Well, that
course
statue
not.
like the fucking irrelevant whore that I am. Fuck The Wire. Good for me.
You do well in L.A., my friend.
Thing is, though, I always say, they can do what they want. I'm still going to try to do good work and just kind of let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control it, but it's just when you see good stuff not being rewarded, and I mean, how many years do we have to tolerate at the Oscars just people not getting what they deserve? It's like frustrating. It's supposed to represent the best, and you're like, this, House might be a great show. House might be fantastic, but I don't know. It doesn't do much for me.
No.
Much for me.
No.
No, not for me either.
I want to go a little obscure. I'm looking at Isiah Whitlock Jr.'s bio here, and I see that you had a part in Goodfellas.
Yes, I did. Yes,
I
I did.
love Goodfellas. That's one of our favorites.
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
Anthony's
yeah.
favorites,
Holy
especially.
shit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who'd you play? I don't remember.
Wait,
You
can
know?
we try to guess? Will we be able to guess or no?
If you didn't blink, is it one of those?
Well, yeah, it might be, but it's interesting because there's a scene right at the end of the movie where he goes to pick up his brother at the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And
I remember.
so you might do two blinks there.
Yeah.
But he goes to pick up his brother at the hospital, and he's been strung out on coke.
Paranoid with the
Yeah, and he's very,
helicopter
very
following
paranoid.
him.
And the only guy in that one particular moment that he trusts is this doctor at the hospital. And I check him out, and I give him more Valium and everything like that.
Oh, shit.
I send him on his way.
I remember that.
And what's interesting about that is I'll never forget, I went into audition, and I had done the reading for The Color of Money at Paul Newman's apartment. And there was Tom Cruise and Martin Scorsese, and we were all sitting around on the couch reading the script. And of course, I was hoping, God, I just got to get in this movie, Well, I never did. I was so disappointed. But when I went in to audition for Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese kind of looked at me and he said, I know you from somewhere. I said, yeah, I did those readings for you at Paul Newman's apartment. He says, oh, yeah, right. I thought you were wonderful. He says, well, look, don't have to read or anything like that. I like your work, and I'll just see you on a set.
Oh,
And I thought, and the casting director, I can't remember her name, but she was such a bitch, And she was saying, now look, when you go in and you see Marty, make sure that you do this and you do that. And then when I walked in to see Marty, and Marty and I were like best of buds, she walked out and said, well, you never told me you knew Marty. I said, I'm going to go back in there and tell Marty what a bitch you are, and I'm going to have your ass fired.
What did you audition? Wouldn't it be funny if you came in and all we wanted to talk about was Goodfellas? No, The Wire's good, but tell us about Ray Liotta. How tall is he?
That's a great film, though.
Amazing.
It was just great to be a part of it, But that was like the real sort of trivia thing, where I could always say, I was in Goodfellas,
Yeah, that's
a
biggie, man.
You may not even recognize me because I look like I'm about 12 years old,
We had a guy that called up once. We were looking for people that had bit parts that were just listening to the show. And some guy called up, and he was the guy that was standing in the driveway when his buddy got his nose caved in by the gun.
Oh,
yeah. He was the guy that went, "Don't shoot." Don't shoot. That's like, wow, you had a line to it and everything.
That guy's a fan of our show. And
to us, that's kind of cool.
yeah, because I'm just like, you were a Goodfellas, dude. I don't care if it was 2 seconds ago. Don't shoot.
You remember that part, though, too.
Yeah.
Don't shoot. Oh, he beat that motherfucker down, man.
Oh, well,
Don't you ever do
a good pistol whipping to the bridge of the nose. Yeah, you're right out.
Oh my goodness.
That's what you get for touching Karen.
Yeah, really.
And Gbenga, you got into acting because you had a 9-to-5 job or something like that, and you just
I
said,
used to work
"Fuck
for the
this."
federal government, and I mean, I dug it. What I was doing, worked for the Corporation for National Service, and it's the headquarters of AmeriCorps and Vista Social Service Programs, and I worked in the Congressional Affairs Department.
Wow.
And I just got curious about acting. I didn't even really want to pursue it. I just got curious about it. Started researching it online, bought some books, and I saw what actors did. I started going on auditions just because the information was there. I still wasn't trying to leave my job.
Wow.
And then I got called. I got called from the Shakespeare Theater, and they offered me a role. And I kind of freaked out, and I hung up the phone real quick, and I'm like, "I'll call you back." And I hung up, and then like 5 seconds later, my uncle called and told me my father died. And that was just like, I went into my supervisor's office and resigned. It was just like a sign that I had to go, and I've been acting since.
How many years now?
Ooh, what's this? 2008? So 7 years? It was 2001.
Wow, damn.
Wow.
I wonder if they resent the fact at the Emmys that so many, because a couple of you guys have been not around for many years. Like Tristan's very new, and you're doing such great work, and not having been through 25 years of awful projects like so many of them have been before. Not that, you know what I mean? Maybe that's kind of a resentment from Hollywood too.
That's there in the industry. If you're I'm not saying the Emmys are, just saying in general, if you're bitter or if you've had to do all kinds of things, you put that resentment out subconsciously or however, it goes out there. You're in this industry. You see how people, you're experiencing a lot of success. And there's a lot of comedians who aren't experiencing your success who have been out there a lot longer than you have.
Yeah.
And you feel it in the way they greet you.
That's right.
The
like
way they
when
say
I put my hand out
congratulations.
for the ring to be kissed, that kind of bothers them a little bit. You're changing, man.
Not me, man. I always say, "Fuck it, I got mine." That's all I'm going to wear. I got my part. I don't care how many. I don't care if you've been here 2 days. I got mine. And that's all I'm going to be concerned about.
Wade, holy shit! I knew you. And like I said, I'm fresh to the wire. I'm only 2 seasons in, so I'm gonna be introduced to you in season 3. You were in The Savages, I just read.
Yeah, did you see the movie?
I actually saw that movie.
Yeah.
No, but that movie, no one really saw it. I mean, let's be honest.
Movie. The critics loved it.
Yeah, the critics loved it, and it was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. Me and my girl, we were looking for a movie, and we went to the Artsy Theater, and we saw it, and it was downright fucking depressing, man. It was a good story, and you played like an orderly or something at the home, right?
Yeah. Looked up for Philip Bosco.
Shit, yeah.
And with this thing with Laura Linney.
You were like Jamaican or something in the movie,
No,
right?
Laura thought I was Jamaican, and we had the whole scene at the end. I'm like, I'm actually Nigerian. And she's like, oh.
Were you guys smoking pot together or something?
No, we were smoking cigarettes.
Cigarettes, right, okay.
And it's funny because I don't smoke. And Philip on set, Philip Hoffman had to teach me how to smoke. I had to teach me how to look like I was smoking.
Yeah.
And like Laura and I have a lot of great scenes together, and where she kind of misconstrues it and kind of goes for it.
Yeah.
And I had to reluctantly let her down, which was great, of course.
I don't know if I can recommend the movie. It was definitely a good movie. Depressing as hell. It's based on like some adult kids having to put their father into a home in Buffalo, of all places, and every scene was pretty much gray. But Laura Linney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had scenes with Laura Linney, who's pretty pretty damn huge. Fucking.
Please tell me you got to shoot at least one person in the home. That should be his thing. I have to kill one person. That's what I do.
Gotta rewrite.
Well, they're old anyway. Come on.
Well, Chris was not his first character on The Wire. We all remember the cameo, which I learned from watching that Wire Odyssey special.
Yeah.
He played, you didn't have a line, I don't think. He was an extra. He was a cop.
And where?
In one of the
Oh,
earlier.
wow.
Extra.
That's so odd when that happens,
I was actually twice. I was an extra in the pilot background. You don't even see me. Like way background. I was way background in the pilot episode, and then like you said, I was an extra in a courtroom, and I'm bald. My face is all clean, and you don't even recognize. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, they circled it. There's a special on demand called like The Wire Odyssey, or whatever it is about like all the seasons, and they kind of focus on that and stop. You know, like how funny would it be if like when you were on there, all the message boards explode. That's the cop from season 1.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, it's
Well,
always,
you know, when I first auditioned, I auditioned for Lester Freeman.
did you really?
Okay, I can see that.
You know, and then I think I went in for somebody else. No, I think it was just Lester Freeman that I went in for.
Do you guys, if you audition for a part and then you don't get it, and then somebody else gets it and you get another part, do you kind of watch them doing something and go, that's not the way I would have done it? Or do you always looking at Lester's dialogue, how would I say this?
No, I don't do that.
No, what's meant to be yours will be.
Yeah.
Like, I was originally cast as Slim Charles. Like they offered me the role.
Okay,
as
who I
Slim
love.
Charles.
He was underused in season 4.
You know, and
Did they really?
yeah, I was originally Slim Charles, and I ended up turning that down because it conflicted with something else. And then later on, I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't, because I didn't have anything better going on. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have turned down that role on HBO. And I didn't have anything at that point, you know. And then some time passed, and they called me up, and they offered me Chris. They said, the writers, they really like you. They want to offer you this role, and I took it. And so and I'm very glad that I took Chris. You know, things happen for a reason. And when other people get roles, you definitely can't kick yourself because that wasn't supposed to be yours. You know, yours is something else.
The way I feel right now, I don't want to play anybody else but Clay Davis. I mean,
Clay
everybody
should have his own movie.
I'd steal all the money.
Where do you come up with the anger that it takes to like the description of that beatdown is just amazing. Like because you're a nice enough guy sitting here and stuff. Where do you get that?
It's not hard for a black man to find rage.
You want to see Rage coming out to the public theater? Unconditional. I'm hanging people in the show, you know? Yeah, I am, you know?
Holy shit. Like I said, it's not hard for a black man to find rage in America.
Well, now that he opened the door a little bit, I was a little too scared to ask, but it's down on the sheet that he got in a lot of trouble as a youth, so.
Oh, yeah.
And you changed your life around.
I was in and out of schools, out homeschooling, I mean, all kinds of stuff. Like, it was an interesting time growing up.
Interesting.
You grew up where in New York?
No, I grew up in Maryland, like 40 minutes south of Baltimore.
Okay.
And we were in and out of schools, in and out of different homes. I mean, it was, I got in a lot of trouble. And it wasn't until I started wrestling my junior year, I had to earn my way into a regular high school first. And then when I started wrestling my junior year, that I was able to stay in that high school. And I got a wrestling scholarship the next year. I was fortunate that I took to it, and I was very good at it. I still wrestle, actually, when I can. I do a tournament. I did a tournament about...
For Vince McMahon?
For Vince McMahon. No, not for Vince.
How great was that? That would be a great new character where you pull a pistol and murder every opponent in the ring. And after like 3 weeks, people are like, we don't want to see this guy anymore.
No,
But
you can't wrestle here. You can't wrestle here.
But the beauty of a Vince storyline, no one really figures it out. He's still on the wrestling card every week.
Of course.
We do a Wire WrestleMania, you know? All the characters of the Wire would be taking on some of these
Off
guys.
the abandoned cars,
Yeah.
top rope.
I want to go see these plays, man. I don't go to see a lot of theater.
Come check it out. The Flea Theater, Lower Ninth. It's running right now. The show is really good. It's got James McDaniels, who's Lieutenant Fancy from NYPD Blue, Gaius Charles, who's Smash Williams on Friday Night Lights, and of course myself, Gbenga Akinnagbe. It's at 41 White Street, south of Canal. The Flea Theater, theflea.org.
It's not one where Jimmy would be sitting there and at the end of the show everyone goes, "Damn There's one of the motherfuckers. You go, wait, I'm just here to see the fucking play.
No, it's your fault.
I'm just a patron.
Kill that white boy.
I would love to go, but I tend to do this during plays, like during a scene when you're doing it. I tend to stand up and go, I know him. Like a lot of people have found that distracting, but I mean, a lot of people just kind of go with it. We improv a little.
know.
It's about me.
Why is the senator in a play?
Say shit, please.
You know, people in theaters, a lot of elderly people go and see theater, and it's wild because they don't necessarily know their own voices sometimes, especially if they have hearing aids.
Oh, damn.
Like, I've been in theaters where people are, like, they'll talk to the person next to them. That person's a bad actor. And it's like real loud. It's like, I think this scene is over. And I mean, just and they're, like the daughter's like, shh. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny to see. They
Quiet,
don't know
Grandma.
they're being so loud.
It's funny to see unless you're the actor they're talking about. It's like, would somebody smother her, please? With a fucking pillow.
Yeah, it's not you. You're like, God, we've been saying the same thing backstage since this thing started. Thank God.
So it's not just us.
You know what? It's like when I was shooting Spider-Man.
Oh, right.
Of course.
You were in the blockbuster movie Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, Goodfellas, Spider-Man.
I remember.
You were in Spider-Man?
Well, you know.
He was surly truck driver.
Yeah, I had.
Number one, I believe.
I heard the residuals on there are hot, though. For those movies.
Fucking, I probably made about $8,000 off one line.
See, I heard the
Wow.
residuals are hot off that
Wow.
movie. I know somebody else who had like one line in that movie, and they were getting sick residuals.
I got $1,000, which was higher than for with a 500. It was $1,000. Just I said he stinks and I don't like him, and that was the line. And I just keep getting. I get a lot of checks.
And movies, it's running well. It's doing well internationally. It did well
yeah, that's
internationally.
a huge one.
Yeah.
Here, let's get him another royalty check. Here it is.
He stinks and I don't like him. Yeah, I had to emote somebody
right
stinking in the flesh, right
That's
there.
it.
And I don't like him. Yeah, you know how it is when you have to put something out there. You beat people to death, and I just do it vocally. I wish we could put that beating on audio. It's unfortunate that there's no, except for the dull thud of flesh. There's no.
That'd
way
be
to
interesting
convey
to
that.
hear the lead up to it, because we walk into it, we're talking. It's like, I'm like, you like touching boys? He's like, no, and it's like, well, in prison you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm like, yeah, I understand. I mean, it'd be interesting to hear that and not see it.
Yeah.
You fucking savage him.
I still have a hard time watching that scene. Actually,
Wow, really?
I was over at some friend's house and they tried to show it to me like just about a month or two ago. I started watching it and then I was like, I have to leave the room right now.
Damn.
Guys were coming up to me on the street saying, "Yo, what's wrong with Chris?" I think you need to go ask Chris.
And the funniest line, I wish we had the audio, because the way Stu goes, damn, you didn't even wait till the motherfucker got in the house. Like, of all the things he could have said, it was, gee whiz, couldn't you be patient? Like,
Or the one guy who didn't want to be put in the house because his people wouldn't find him, and there were he said, "There's rats in there," and I wanted to say, "Dude, they're gonna kill you."
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
oh, was that the guy who
Face Andre.
that was the guy who he said you're not Delta Airlines either. That was the guy. He took his ring.
Yes,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, he had to go. He had to fucking
You
go.
had to go, huh?
Yeah, Marlo had to fuck. He took his ring, and that guy had to go. You knew he wasn't going to be fucking. I think we actually have the audio of them talking. Do we have that?
Which one?
It's Marlo talking. Chris is in the scene, but he's in the back. I'm sorry, Gbenga's in the scene. He's in the background. I'm going to call you Chris. I'm a fucking idiot.
That's all right.
It's Marlo. This guy was robbed by Omar. And he owes money to Marlo. And he's trying to explain that Omar's a terrorist, and you know how it is. He robbed me. And Marlo is basically...
He's using the example like the government like forgave a lot of debts, or they put a lot of debts on hold because of the terrorists and Delta Airlines or whatever. So he's trying to say, that's what's going on. I was robbed and everything. Even the government... Yeah.
Oh, shit. You ain't Delta Airlines.
It's not in there, is it?
Oh, man.
Yeah, he went there.
That's a great line.
No, these are all Omar. This is a Marlo.
Yeah, we're trying to find
it.
it.
We'll find it. Yeah, it's just a really cool clip, and that guy wound up in the house. I wish there was a way to play that dull thud. It's such. On a break, I'll show one if any one of you guys want to watch it. I know you don't want to get to that point yet, but you got
Yeah,
it.
no.
I'm just waiting for one of these guys to show emotion on this show. Just one time. Show emotion for the horrific crap that's going on.
With the kids, man.
Yeah.
Like, the kids. That'll bleed you emotionally. It's
Right on.
It's so good. And what's wild is that as horrific as things are on the show, as far as the grittiness of it. It's not near the reality. It's even worse than reality. I've been in these schools in Baltimore. I've talked to these teachers and these kids, and like it's worse in real life. Some of the stories. They couldn't show it on HBO, some of the things that he did in these schools.
There's a great face slashing in season 4 too with the students. One girl, like an ugly girl, who's getting teased. No, it's okay. It's just a quick scene. La 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 la.
She's got some sort of problem.
Yeah, and she's getting teased by a prettier girl, and boy, she gives her a face slashing. It's just.
I mean, look. After being in some of these public schools, you could see it coming. You know, when the minute they put that camera on, I said, "Look, don't fuck with her. Please. Oh God, please don't." I've seen this before. I know what happens when you deal with a person like that.
Like, can't you see she's a fucking problem?
Yeah.
She's not.
She's sitting there twitching silently. Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Yeah. Anybody twitching, you don't fuck with.
Mind her business as best you can right now.
She's a broke, ugly, fat girl. Don't fuck with her. She's only gonna slice your face.
Which she does.
She's got Vaseline on her face and stuff like that. You know? Like you don't want to mess with her. She's got cold cream on.
And she's in middle school.
Oh, shit. I just recognized Isiah.
Where?
From something else.
What?
Oh, no. Dad got hosed.
That commercial. Isiah's in a lot of commercials.
I know, man.
Dad got hosed. Verizon, right?
Yeah, I try to sneak in and sneak out, but it just doesn't seem that thing to happen, you know?
Oh,
got a lot of what was really bad was I was walking down the street one day, and I started at one block, it was like, she. And by the time I got to the end, it was like, Dad got hosed, and then oh God, I'm just gonna lose my fucking mind. You know?
We're all about catchphrases on this show. Damn.
Yeah. So wait,
I'm gonna be afraid to talk after a while. You know.
That was this guy who has the campaign now? Was he the? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Was this during this campaign?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what's really interesting is when you actually meet him, because you see him everywhere.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you meet him, and it's like, I'm here with the tech man. I mean, it's like,
He's the guy.
You're the most famous guy in the world.
Yeah.
Does he have an attitude about him, or is he down to earth?
No, he's really down to earth. You know?
I hope he's well compensated because his image is everywhere and he can't do anything else.
He's a really nice guy, and he came up to me, you know, in the tech thing with the glasses, and he says, Isiah, right? I said, yeah, man. He says, we've got some mutual friends. We do. We do? Oh, my God. You know, my heart started beating, you know. Who do I know in the tech world? But no. But it turned out that he's an actor, and he knows a lot of people that I know.
How much money is he making? That fucking Verizon, how much money is he pulling? I've never gotten a commercial.
Gotta be a couple G's.
Perhaps more than that.
How many one of our catchphrases?
Oh, years. How much do you think he is pulling? Because I've never landed a commercial in my life.
I'm not quite sure. He's got like a Learjet that we took down to. No, I'm teasing.
I'll tell you an interesting story about that I heard. I cannot verify that it's true. Let me just say that out there. And I probably shouldn't tell this story, but I am.
Yeah, tell it.
So
why not?
I heard
I'm the new tech guy.
Like, I'm the new tech guy.
So he's in Taiwan with children.
And he kept his glasses on. No, I'm kidding. No. I heard when he signed the deal, like Verizon, like his agent calls up, like they're making their deal, whatever. And I don't know who his agent is, and I don't know. And he calls up and says he's not taking any less than this amount. And Verizon's like, okay. And they signed the deal and so on. Apparently, they agreed to it so quick because they were willing to offer him so much more. Like he got.
Oh, yeah, right.
But I don't know if it's true. And if it's not true, I apologize. I just heard, and that's an interesting story to spread anyway. So
So now it's out there and it's fact.
Oh, that's funny. So dumbbell agent tried to play hardball and cost their client about $4 million.
His agent's Ralph Cramden.
He doesn't take any less than $500 a week.
Don't worry, I got a good deal for you, know it.
I went back to HBO and tried to get a signing bonus. My agent slapped me over the head like Levy did.
What are you, crazy?
Yeah, right.
I want a signing bonus. Were you in the NFL now?
Yeah, right. I want a $50,000 signing bonus. It's like, whack. Yeah. Let's go. You're out of here now.
They'd only give me 20.
We should get these guys out of here.
That's great,
We really appreciate you guys coming over to XM with us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
I think you can figure out that we're pretty big fans of the show. So.
Thanks for watching the show and supporting us, having us out on
Fantastic.
Season finale is
Sunday
night, 9 o'clock.
Hour and a
on
half or so,
HBO,
right?
90 minutes.
So if you're taping in DVR and make sure you... Oh, well, no, it'll just... What am I saying?
And-
What do you think it is? An old VCR?
I know.
I pushed record, but I only had an hour.
What a dummy.
the end off.
And we're gonna. You guys want to plug the place too? Give one more plug, just so people know they want to come
Absolutely.
see you live doing real theater here in New York City.
Come see Unconditional with the Labyrinth Theater performing at the Public. I'll be there, Isiah Whitlock Jr. with John Doman, who plays Rawls on The Wire. It's a great show. Come and check it out. We run until Sunday. We close on Sunday, so,
So come
you better
fast.
get down there early.
Yeah, come down to the Flea Theater. You can check it out at theflea.org, as in the insect, and come watch me, Gbenga, Akinnagbe, James McDaniels, and Gaius Charles in Lower Ninth. We run till April 5th. It's a great play. Running time about 1 hour, 15 minutes. Check it out.
Oh, that's good. That's a good time for a play.
In and perfect.
I like that. I like a little over an hour. I'm good.
Yeah.
Whenever there's an intermission, I've never seen the second half of a play. I just can't go back in.
But this one you like. It's like no intermission. Just hit it. We knock it
Let's
out.
just
of the
get it
park.
done.
Exactly.
It's not a play when the fucking little sliding thing comes over the glass and you see a naked girl on the other side, Jimmy.
And you gotta keep putting in quarters.
Yeah, well, that's not a play. It's not theater.
We do have an intermission, but still come.
Intermissions are fine.
Sorry.
That explains a lot, though.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, man. You guys are like ruining my show, man. I mean, what's
I never
going
make
on
the
here?
second act. I always come in the first one.
No, intermissions are fine. It's a good play.
All right, let's get out of here. We got to take a break, and not us. They're getting out of here, and we'll
Thanks a
continue
lot,
for
guys.
The
everybody.
Wire, Sunday night,
Yep.
9:30, 9 o'clock.
Very cool.
God
Thanks,
bless.
guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right on, man.
Thank you, man.